One of the most surprising things that I learned when I was doing my coaching diploma was that it doesn't matter who you are. You could be a model, you could be a successful entrepreneur, you could be a teacher, you could be a personal trainer. It doesn't matter. Everybody is trying to figure something out, which is why coaching really is for everyone. And I'm going to just tell you about my journey and how I got into coaching and why it might be useful for you. And also what coaching is and what coaching isn't, right? So I remember I was doing quite well. I'd moved over to Dubai, doing well in sales, and I just felt that something was a little bit off. I felt like I was misaligned from a certain perspective, right? Because sometimes when you're in your careers, you're sort of so much so in that career that the blinkers are on, right? You think there's only one way to go. You think, okay, maybe I need to go into management or I need to go this direction, whatever it may be. And maybe it's not in alignment with you. So I listened to a podcast from a fitness guru, and there was a coach on there who was Irish, and he's called Aidan O'Brien. And I listened to him articulate what coaching is. And he mentioned really the coaching is non-directive, and that essentially it's more about letting go rather than collecting stuff. So I thought that was quite interesting. And anyways, I signed up for his coaching and it's been really good so far. I'm still in the program and this is sort of one to many coaching, right? So every 2 weeks we do coaching sessions and you get to hear other people's challenges. Now, after doing this, I really liked it, right? And I thought maybe I should go into coaching because I enjoyed listening to how he answered questions from the clients that were on the call. So I decided to sign up for a coaching diploma, and I did this in Dublin, doing this remotely, obviously from the Middle East, and it was a commitment of sort of a weekend once a month, and then there was homework that you had to do, and then there was, as the coach said, the work, which is really working on yourself. So what I thought coaching was very different. I thought coaching just gives you the answers. You hire a coach, they give you all the answers, right? You see coaches and you almost feel like they're going to give you the solution. Well, coaching is very different to that, right? That's not going to help people. Coaching is really, once again, non-directive. It's really shining a light on you because as coaches, we say that, you have all the answers inside you. And coaching really is about providing a quiet space, typically an hour, right? And I've done this over 20 hours of coaching. I generally get a quiet space for the client and it's all about them, right? You're literally, as a coach, not really talking that much, you're listening. And this is active listening, like your life depends on it, as my coach says. So you're really trying to understand and get into the shoes of your client. And you're there just to ask questions. So by asking these powerful questions, you're almost getting the thoughts out of that client's head. Because if you think about it, on any given day, when do you sit down and have quiet space to reflect on what's going on? When can you actually challenge yourself, right? And sometimes it might be a little bit uncomfortable. You might sometimes tend to go into the past a little bit, but once again, as my coach says, the past is a school to learn from, not somewhere where you have to live or stay, right? So we're not a tree, we can change constantly. And I really started doing the work, which was self exploration, which is getting rid of everything that you're not and going back to your authentic self. And I trained various different people, right? I couldn't get over the fact that I was training a director in the UAE. I was training a personal trainer in Ireland. I was training sales representatives. And everyone has their own challenges. And sometimes they'll come onto a call and the challenge that they think is the challenge, it could be something completely different. It could actually be something in their personal life. They think it's a work problem, but it's more of a personal problem. And it's only by sitting down, and sometimes you're repeating something that has been stuck in your head, maybe for months, maybe even for years. And something magic happens when you say it out loud. And there often is a moment of clarity here. You can see the sort of whites in the eyes of the clients go off. And the job as a coach is not to step onto the pitch with you. It's more, I'm in sort of the passenger seat in the car, you're doing the driving. I'm just asking you questions, like you're doing all the work. It's just you have someone there who's almost like a sounding board because if the coach tells you what to do, that mightn't be in your own best interest, right? So you have to just listen and guide, and not influence it. You're more focused on the people and not the actual solution, right? You don't really care in a way as a coach about the outcome, because it's more about the actual person. Because when you focus on the person, the outcome generally comes along itself, right? And I found it really, really useful. And like I said, when I went through the coaching, I sort of quickly discovered what I was doing in work aligned with what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go into sort of a different career path or anything like that, but I also wanted some fulfillment in my life in a lot of ways, and that's how I got into coaching then. And I committed to doing the coaching diploma, and ultimately, this is what I'm doing now. I am here to coach people to really help them solve issues. And like I said, it doesn't matter how successful some people look. I spoke to a really senior coach in Ireland, and he said the moment it sort of hit him how powerful coaching was when he was actually coaching a model who was from somewhere in Europe. And he said this person had the looked like they had everything going for them, but they were really unhappy. And he said that that was the moment where he said, doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Don't look at other people and think they don't have challenges, because they 100% do, right? So if you feel stuck, if you feel misaligned, if you have challenges or obstacles that you're looking to, I guess, find help with, and you need that quiet space, you need to do some self exploration as well. Coaching is probably exactly what you need. Now, mentoring is another story. Mentoring is someone, as an example, maybe you're in sales and you hire a coach or a mentor who's in sales for maybe 15 years. They can probably tell you a bit of advice, right? They can say, well, this is what I did and it worked for me. Maybe it would work for you. But coaching is actually just getting what's in your head out, and then giving you those moments of clarity. So both work really well, but coaching for me has been absolutely transformational, especially from an active listening as well. Actually, being on the calls and listening to you as the client. So if you want to check this out, learn more about it, I'm always happy to speak to people on this. There's a discovery call on my website. And like I said, my role here is I help ambitious professionals regain clarity, confidence, and direction in their life. Talk to you in the next video.